Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, June 28th. Welcome. It's been a minute. But I'm here. I know everybody's pretty excited about that. Oh, there's been just so much. So we'll get into it because I've got lots of stitching. I didn't pull everything out of the bags like I usually do because my basket runneth over that I keep all my stuff in. I'd lift it up and show you, but it's full, which makes it kind of heavy. Anyway, I think last time I was here, if I remember correctly, I looked it up, but I still have to remember correctly. May 15th was the last video I posted. So I still have mania projects to show because I did through the 26th of May and everything since then. So practically a whole month of June. This is ridiculous. I know better. But to be fair, we were gone to the cabin for a week. One of the reasons I have time right now is unfortunately poor Ryan is sick. And so they didn't come over today. Because generally they come over and wear us out. But anyway, since then, like I said, we've been to the cabin for a week, sick again. It's just been, and busy and sometimes just lazy. It just is what it is. But I have stitched, so we'll get going with that. Out of Paula Vaughn, Quilts for All Seasons, and I've got all of these going. This is the May quilt. Right this year I'm only working on them one day in the month, but I haven't shown y'all's May. I haven't shown y'all May's. Anyway, here we are. I'm starting in the middle on all of these, or have started in the middle. You can see some shadowing here where I've had to pull stuff out and put stuff back in. Here, I'll get that dot off there. It's making me nuts. So just putting stuff back in. But like I said, I started in the middle, and I think that's probably around this right here in the quilt. If you've been around long, you know I love quilts and I love Paula Vaughn, so that one's just fantastic for me. I have also worked on the June quilt. The double wedding ring quilt is one of my favorites. Like I've said before, I think I need a quilt, an actual quilt, to go with each one of these quilts in the book. That would be just about perfect. I'm doing much better on this one. I've gotten farther, as you can see. I haven't had to rip out, knock on wood, stuff yet. I did a lot of this is going to be filled in white, but there's still just some little, like each square is like 4 stitches. So I filled in a few more of those colors and worked on the overalls that are hanging over the line. I get to a place where I don't get to a place. I just don't want to quit working on these when I do work on them. When I was working on them, because I still don't have all of the flaws, but I've got this one. It was full, and I knocked it over while it was open. So all of these have to go back in here. I've put some back in place, but I haven't made through all of them. I have this one. I have a second one started. Here's the bag of floss that still needs to bobbinated, and I still don't have all of the floss that it calls for. I figure when I get this kitted up, I should have a complete, absolute set of DMC. I'm just kidding, because I don't think any of these patterns get into even the 3800s. I think somewhere in 37 something is as high as they get. But anyway, I was not happy, and I did not have nice words to say when I knocked that over, to be sure. I worked on Hey Heifer. This is one of my Mania pieces. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know when it falls in Mania. So I don't know if you saw it before. No, because I think I worked on it at Cabin. It doesn't matter. Ta-da, I got it finished. So it really doesn't matter when you saw it or not. So that was pretty exciting. I got that finished. I wrote down on a piece of paper here that, you know, whips and number of finishes and stuff, but then I didn't write the numbers in. So, and those would have been at the end of May, and we're almost at the end of June, so they kind of really don't matter, right? We've been busy doing fun stuff. There was a storm blowing through. The wind was very strong. And one of the windows in the bedroom, you could just hear the wind whistling through the window because the seal was broken. So we had to fix that. I bought the glazer's caulk, and I put the caulk on it, and Dax went and stood outside. When I told him it's ready, he pushed on the window and held it there to give it for a few minutes to give the caulk time to set. Teamwork, it's so important. I have worked on Hallie's birth announcement. With any luck, I'll get it finished before she's a year old. She's 6 months old now. Yes. Maybe 7. Is she 7 months old? 6 months old. Anyway, here's where we are. I am quite pleased with how it's coming along. I'm certain that since you've seen it last, that, well, I know I've started putting in Humpty Dumpty's head, and this is a bunny rabbit over here. I've started doing a little bit of back stitching. I've come way down here with that and filled in a lot, and I think I've gotten, I think most of this since I've seen you last too. So anyway, I mean, this is, I'm actually down to about here, but that's still all solid stitching going forward. So anyway, so far so good. It is coming along. I may have made a mistake when I showed her this one and asked her if she liked it, but when I saw it, I had actually already bought a different one, and I couldn't quit thinking about this one, so I decided it must be meant to be. Oh, this one. I didn't pull things out like I said. I think I said I started this more than once. So I got to dig things out of my bags. I didn't show you my just, you know, fancy Ziploc bags. So here's a bag I made. Okay, I worked on Graveyard Halloween. And I need to get, these are buttons. I need to get the buttons to sew on. I think this little spider is a button too. I need to get the buttons to sew on here. And I haven't, there's a little bit of back stitching here and there. I don't know if I'm going to put the spider web. I can't make up my mind. But anyway, there's some back stitching in a couple of places that I haven't done yet. But I've gotten it finished. Oh my gosh. Why is there floss everywhere? Okay. I've gotten it finished. I'm unhappy with the moon. And I'm using the called for floss. I use the called for floss on the moon. You can see that one's a lot of light color, right? And mine is a lot of gray. This right here in the middle, I went and filled it in with white to see if I could make it look like it was, glowing out, to feel like I was salvaging it some, and I don't like it. I don't think I like it. I'm thinking about seeing if I can't find something with a paler gray when it goes into gray, some kind of fancy floss. But tell me what you think. See, my little spider right here doesn't have any legs. That needs to be done. And like I said, I don't know about, but that looks so empty without the spider web, so I guess I'll need to put it in. But it's the same color as that, I believe. I'm not sure. But tell me what you think. I think I need to pull the moon out and redo it. That's where I'm at right now. A couple of weeks after we got back from the cabin, here's one of the reasons I didn't record. I could have. But we were in Sam's one day. It was on a Wednesday, and they're remodeling Sam's by us. And we were in there, and something triggered my allergies, and I started coughing. And it was just that tickle in the back of your throat that you can't get rid of. And I coughed and I coughed and I coughed. And by Friday, I mean, even after we left, the cough didn't go away. It really got me irritated. The cough, not me personally. But by Friday afternoon, Dax was like, you need to do the teledoc thing or something so that you don't suffer through all weekend. And so I did. And he gave me a prescription for a steroid and nose spray to kind of help dry things up. And so I took the medicine over the weekend like I was supposed to. And when I got up on Monday morning, I decided I'm not taking any more of that medicine anymore. I feel worse. I feel much worse. And so Monday I went to the doctor in person, and this will tell you how much I coughed over the weekend and all of that, even on the medicine, because when he said good morning and I said good morning back, he was like, oh, testosterone sounded a little high here, which I just laughed because he is our regular doctor. He knows us. But my voice was very deep and very rough. The nose spray had something in it because I said, after I use the nose spray, like for an hour, I cannot breathe through my nose. It just clogs everything up. And he's like, well, it's supposed to dry everything up, so something in there must be irritating you. So I spent the entire weekend only making it worse. So yay for that. And I coughed my way into bronchitis. And I'm only, probably the past week, I've been pretty good about not coughing and all of that, which that's one of the reasons that I didn't record a video, because I couldn't quit coughing, and to sit and talk would have made me cough more and more. So anyway, that was not fun. It was not fun. And then lo and behold, last Monday, yes, it was Monday, after we got to the office, I was like, I had the realization, because I could feel the pain start. I was like, I've got a bladder infection. I'm over it. We have been, Dax and I, back and forth, one or the other of us has been sick with something so much in the first 6 months of this year. I'm done. The next 6 months need to be illness-free. I'm over it. I think today's the last day on my antibiotics for it. I'm not loving it. I can tell you that. I worked on Earth Dancer. Yes, Earth Dancer by Butternut Road. This is on my list of 20. You know, those, my Euro whips, which is really code for this, the 20 oldest ones I have going. But here we are. It's actually starting to look like something. It spent so much time just working on all of this that it was hard to tell it was anything. This time I worked in her hair. I filled in a lot that was up here and then brought it over. But I'm actually starting to, you know, be like, okay, let's do something here. It hasn't always been that way. It's been like, oh, I'm sorry for the noise because I have so many. I am trying to put them back up. And then I worked on, these are in no particular order, and I don't, like that one, I don't think that was a Mania. I think this one is a Mania project. And this is St. Nicholas too. I'm trying to remember if it's, no, it's the one with the trees. The one I want is the one you can never find. But anyway, there's a pattern at the bottom. I was working on this one with the Santa with the Ark. I'd done the, oh, I guess I'd have to show you back there. It's right here. I did this one earlier for Dax with the pipe, since he's taken up pipe smoking in his 50s. But anyway, I got it finished. So I'm happy with that. I've got room for another one. So I'll pick out one of those, but it'll go to the back of my basket of things to start. Basket, it's a tub. It's in a bag that I made because who doesn't need a bag with lumberjack beavers on it? If you're new here, I like stupid things that make me laugh. So I worked. This is a bag I made out of a table runner. You just fold it over, put in a zipper, and you're good. Trying to have more than one of these in here. Little House Needleworks, Sheep Virtues, and this one is Faith. I have others on this piece of fabric, but here's where I am. I used a string of floss, a length of floss there to fill in the middle of that, and then I dropped down here and did Faith, and this is the bottom of that tree. Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. I don't want to blow anybody's eardrums out, but I paused it, and then when I went back to start it again, I stopped the recording. So I'm gonna have to splice these together, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, they'll both wind up in one video, but we'll see how smooth the transition is. Anyway, I worked on Little Sheep Faith. I got down to the bottom of the tree right here. That's where I'm at. And I put in the little red heart there just so I could have some color that showed up. Anyway, I also have on this piece of fabric Kindness and Simplicity. And there's another one. Ooh, I don't know what this one is. What else is in here? Gratitude. I think that one might be Gratitude. I cut the first one that I got finished off, but then I decided not to do that with the rest of them until I got more done so that I could have the bigger piece of fabric to work with. Look, I have this cute little needle minder from Colvin in a goodie bag that she sent me. That one was not a Mania piece. Out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, May, June of 1992. I'm working on this one. I'm not doing it on the placemat like that. I'm just doing it on a piece of linen. Ooh, sorry, I'm dropping things. I'm gonna try to move a little closer so this doesn't seem so difficult. I'm gonna just keep stitching lights until I get over here to put the tree on. I haven't measured any of it, so we're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants, because why wouldn't I? And then I'm gonna make a drum out of it. That's what I've decided to do. But as you can see, I've started putting in the lights, and I decided to kind of, you know, like I picked a color and then I put it where that color went. This only went this far because that's where my hoop was. And so I just filled in the colors, and then I had a little bit of time, so I did some of the back stitching. Here's a project bag that I made that did not turn out quite the way that I wanted it to. The eyes need to be bigger. His little nose needs to be bigger. But the directions for it, I think they were in Chinese, and it was a video, and so I didn't have any paper, anything. Everything I just, oh, cut out this. Okay, I got that out, and it is not to scale. But oh well. It holds projects. So I worked on Spooky Welcome. I am not getting close with this one at all. I believe this one is a Mania project. So you can see there is so much more to go on that house, because I'm like down here. So I'm not even halfway through with the house. And for whatever reason, I was going through a moment where I did not know how to measure this one and the other one, the other Halloween one by Stony Creek that I just showed you, are both very close to the edges of the page. I have no idea what I was thinking. But here we are. Anyway, it's coming along. Even though we didn't really go do anything, I don't know what I did while we were at the cabin. This is one that I was working on at the cabin. Because I didn't do that much stitching, but we didn't go do anything either. A couple of days we carried our chairs down to the river, and our little folding chairs, and just sat in the middle of the river like a couple of rednecks. But it's all good. It's all good. I have been working on these. This time I worked on both of these. Sometimes I have days that I get up very early. I get up pretty early all the time, but one of the lovely things that menopause has done for me, and I don't know if that's how it affects lots of women, is sometimes I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I am absolutely wide awake. Now, I'm out here filming this today because we went to a party last night and I didn't get to bed until 2 o'clock this morning. And my cats don't care. And one of them started scratching at the bedroom door at about 5:30 this morning. So I know if I didn't come out here and do this now, I was going to sleep through it. So anyway, this is a morning that because all I had was the crown up here. So I did the rest of this because I got up at about 4. I woke up at about 3 and kept trying to fall back asleep, and I gave up in about 4 and came out here. So he got much more done. He is the middle one. And then, see, here's the difference. This is the last one over here, the banjo. This is kind of, just regular. Now, even though I get up at 5, I've got to, feed the cats. And even with that, now we have new issues. We have one of our cats is getting very old, and she doesn't always know that she's going to the bathroom. So I usually have to get up and clean up something. I mean, we've put down towels and puppy pads that she lays on, but it's still got to be cleaned up every morning. And I could get up and come out here and pretend like I don't know it exists, but obviously, no, I can't. So it may be 30, 45 minutes before I actually make it out here to stitch. But anyway, I also worked on these two out of my Cowboys and Indians. So this is the middle one. And then this is the last one. I only had on this one like these leaves right here that was done when I started it, and I don't know how much of the stitching in there you can see. Here's all of them. They're all on one big piece of fabric that I dyed myself. And I can tell you what I used because I just play around with it. From Mirabilia, I worked on Santa's Magic. And here we are. And I know you can't see all of the Kreinik and the sparkly from it and everything, but I'm working in his beard. So the page that I made a copy of on the pattern, the area is like, I think it's all of his head. So I'm like all up in here. So I'm getting pretty close to being able to put his face in. And Shelly will be happy with me. And all will be right with the world. But that one's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful when it's done. And I don't remember. Santa is on my list of 20. I don't think it's on my Mania. I have a calendar right here. I could look and see. Does it matter? Probably not. But that's okay. That's okay. I do not see it on here. Anyway, I also dropping threads. Worked on the Alamo. It's on my list of 20. I gotta get it done before I forget. I'm gonna forget the Alamo. You've gotta remember the Alamo. Sorry, another piece of floss. Bobbin fell out. And then I'll wonder where it came from when I find it later. And I'm just doing this on some kind of even weave. I'm going to guess it's probably a 28 count. Might be a 32, I don't know. But the squares look... it might be a 32 where the squares make it like a 16 because I'm doing it 2/2. Anyway, this time I worked over here on the building. I've worked on this one a couple of times since y'all seen it last. I got the window finished and actually most of this filled in over here. I've done just a little tiny bit of back stitching on this, but there really isn't that terribly much because what I just showed you is this right here. I mean, I'm not saying I'm almost done, but it's farther along than I feel when I'm looking at it. I've got to get the leaves on the trees, the part above this, right? And then this. I know it's, you know, I'm probably only about a third of the way through, but for a long time I felt like I wasn't making any progress at all. We had a lot of fun one day at the office, I can tell you that, because they came by talking about the condo association that our office is in. Came by talking about the water bill for the condo association was up pretty much. And so they wanted to know if anybody had leaks. You know, they went by to all the offices to see if anybody had any leaks. And we don't have any leaks, but Dax noticed the toilet was dripping in the bowl, just a little. And so he fixed it, and then it was worse. Because of course, right? And so he was like, okay, I think it needs a new flapper. And so I think they didn't have the right kind to Lowe's is closest to the office. So he got online and ordered the new guts for it. So, well, he got a flapper first, and that didn't work. So he ordered all of the guts for the inside, like take the tank off and replace the plastic gasket that goes from the tank to the bowl and replace everything inside it. And he needed my help, and so we were... He had done everything else, but he was trying to get it back on, and he needed the toilet tank to be level while he tightened stuff down. So he tells me to hold it, and he says it's probably going to be better if you straddle the toilet. So I'm sitting on the toilet straddling and holding the tank, but he's got to get to the bolts under the tank, and I'm in the way because I'm straddling the toilet. So I'm kind of straddling the toilet then, but I have one foot up on the wall while he's on the floor under my legs. I said, we should have had somebody videotaping this because we could have gone viral, because I'm sure we looked ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I had this, it was a new start for me. Because I needed some new starts. And I'm showing you the pattern. This is a free one from Doreen Jones off her Facebook group. It's a bookmark. I don't know if I'll make it into a bookmark or if I'll use it, you know, and do something on the other side. I don't know. But I got a very big start. This is, it calls for Krynick, but I think I just grabbed a Petite Treasure braid that I had. So there's my big start. Made a needle minder to go with it. This one's in a plastic envelope. I did not make it. And then I had another new start. I think it's another one off of Doreen Jones' Facebook group. Another freebie. Cute little cat. And like that last one was on a piece of scrap fabric. I don't know anything about it. This one is too. But I finished it. Started it and finished it. One of those giant eyes cracked me up. I haven't a clue what I'm going to do with it, but it's okay because it's cute. And I worked on my America the Beautiful by Sue Hillis. And this one is on my list of 20. And it is a long-term, very long-term project because all of this stuff that fills in, I'm only filling in the states that we have been to together. If we've been to them before we met, they don't count. But, you know, like all of the little motifs. And I'm not putting the capitals because it has the state and the capital. I put the state name, but I'm not going to put the capitals on there. It gets very, very busy and dense over on the northeast coast. But here is where I'm at now. Since the last time I've worked down here on Florida, my poor little crab, my sailboats need some back stitching. And I think there's river and stuff like that runs through. I've still got water to do down there. On the coastline, the water's like 3 different shades of blue. But I came back up here because my page kind of cut off the page where I had, because it folds out into a thing about this big. And so I just make a copy of one section at a time, and it kind of cut off here. So the next one I made was up here. You might be able to guess where we're going with this. But so I came back up to the top and started filling in some here on the lakes, but you know, it's like I got lots of stuff to do here. So anyway, it's so much fun, and I guess we can see here states that we've been to, and we have to go and do something. It doesn't count to, you know, oh hey, our plane landed there and then, you know, we spent 30 minutes running through the airport to catch a connecting flight or something. That doesn't count. We have to actually go and, you know, like Florida, we've been to Disney World and Destin and other things along the way and all of that kind of stuff. So we have to actually do something when we're there. So as you can see, we've been to some of them. The problem that doing it that way is because, like, we go places and we're like, okay, sorry, I'll get that away from the computer more. And we go, wow, we really like that. Let's go back and do this and this that we didn't have time to do before. And so we have a really hard time getting to a new state. We keep going to the same ones again. Anyway. Happy Valentine's Day. I worked on this. I believe this one is on my Mania. I have it sitting right here. Not that y'all really care that much. I wouldn't think. Yeah, I don't know. It might be, it might not. I'm sorry. Hot flash. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day. It is a Sue Hillis Designs. And here's where I'm at. some of it's hard to see that I worked on because, like, I started working on this envelope, right? It's just got a very light kind of yellow outline, and I'm missing one of the colors for the bird because I kind of kitted this up enough to get it started, but not to really work on it, but then it pops up and my wheel spins, so I guess I should get the rest of the floss. What I should do is just finish up some things and go through some of the floss that I just have and see if any of it will go to that. I haven't been showing you my project bags because they look like that. Sorry. Pattern. This one is Janlin. I call it Rooster Pin. It's called Ruffled Feathers. I call it the Rooster Pin because why not rename the patterns that we've adopted? Okay, I guess I didn't adopt it. Anyway, here's where I'm at on it. This is on my list of 22. Most of my list, it's on my list of 20 also. Most of my list of 20 are things that have a whole lot of stitching involved, and I'm rapidly approaching a point that my list of 20 is going to stay the same for, you know, a couple of years or something if I don't do better, but regardless. I had an issue here and I had to rip some stuff out, so I got it back in. There are mistakes that will remain mistakes, but I got that pulled out and put back in that I needed to, and then came and finished working on some of this, which is how I knew there was an issue in the first place. I've put in stitches over here in this one, but they're such pale gray and white that it's really hard to tell. But I think it'll look good one day when I finish it. I also worked on Ukrainian ornaments. This is a full coverage piece. For one thing, that little tiny picture doesn't let you know how big this piece actually is, but I am not stitching in all of that background. I am just doing the red and the black. This is also on my list of 20. I restarted this honey. I think this one it's the third or fourth time here, but I'm past halfway, so that's a plus. And I think I worked on like this page down here. So I think it's got this page, a page for the middle, and then this page over here to be done. But this is like a Hardinger, a 22 count, but I'm doing it 1/1. And originally I started like on this, trying to do it 2/1, which was a nightmare. And then I tried a different size doing it 1/1, but that wasn't full enough. And I came back to that one. And it's been a whole thing. This one, this bag, how cute is that? I found this at Dollar Tree in the makeup section. I decided I had to have it. And it has absolutely nothing to do with this Janlin kit inside of it. This is one I bought, already opened. It didn't come with the fabric, but it came with everything else kit. And I had some fabric that I dyed that I decided to do it on so that it wasn't, you know, just all that plain white background. But this one I've had serious issues with in the beginning getting it started. I've had to pull out so much stuff, but we're finally on a roll and making progress when I work on it. It's hard to see some of the stitching up here because it's very close in color, but that'll pop out with back stitching. But finally, I had to go, this is 2 different shades of red. Even now I can't tell, but I couldn't tell on their floss cards either, so I finally pulled the DMCs to use. But like I said, finally making progress. I don't know if I said or not, this one is also on my list of 20. They may, no. I was going to say they may all be here, but they're not. There's a few I haven't done. Oh, this one is a new start. It's in a bad name. This one, I am doing the which one? I'm doing this one. It's called Welcomes of Plenty by Homespun Elegance. This is one I believe I got from 1884 Stitchery. And I'm doing this one. Like the Stitcher's Welcome. If you're new here, nobody comes to my house because we live kind of out of town, and people who live in town don't like to travel out to come see you. So we don't have company, and I have an obsession with welcomes. So what's up with that? Anyway, there's my big start. Here you go, guys. There's the party buzz coming. The party buzz is coming to bring you out here because you are welcome. I just grabbed the zipper that I had available, so it makes it kind of tight. I should probably put a smaller project in that bag. I started I have to do this down here and try not to make it so loud. Oh my gosh, Kirsten and I did the 90 Mile garage sale at the beginning of June. I only spent like $15. So neither one, I think Kirsten spent like $10 or something. We didn't buy a lot of stuff. That's not true. I probably spent $30 because I bought some from a lady that grows her own vegetables and then cans things, and I bought some Mayhaw jelly and some candied jalapenos. So those were more expensive than those 2 things totaled what I bought at the other place. But on our way back, because I wanted to go eat in Seguin at a place called Smash and Mac, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. If you're in the area and you're interested, I'll find it and let you know. Just tell me. But because they do all kinds of different mac and cheese, we got one that was like taco mac and cheese that had like taco meat and pico and other tortilla strips on it and stuff. And we got Dax a chicken Alfredo one. And then the one of the month was crab rangoon. It was the best. It was so good. But when we were going there, the place where it is, I had no idea. We just put in the directions because that's where I wanted to go get. Seguin is our last stop in the garage sales stuff on our way home. And so that's where it is. So that's where we were going. And it's kind of a bunch of little shops around. They've got it fenced in. And they've got a stage for music to be played and stuff for the kids. And, it's just kind of a place where you can go and grab a drink, listen to music, grab food, and they've got some other shops there too. One of which is, it's not a reuse the brand store. I know there are a lot of those that are, like the Habitat for Humanity reuse store. But this one is a craft store, and all of their stuff is donated, and they have a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff. They had some cross-stitch stuff, not a ton. But like for crochet or knitting, they had a ton of fabric. She said they had storage units still full of fabric. I mean, yarn. But they did have a ton of fabric too. And just other kinds of, all kinds of craft stuff, beading stuff and everything. Nothing has a price on it. We just found what we wanted to buy. And when I say they just have stuff that's been donated and it's been used, I'm crocheting these little booties for Hallie, which if I don't get them finished soon, she's going to outgrow them. But I needed like 2 or 3 feet of pink yarn. I didn't have any in all of the freaking yarn I have, and Kirsten didn't. And they happen to have, it's just a little wad of yarn. But everything there is, you choose the price. You just make a donation. So we're in trouble. We're in very much trouble. Fortunately, Seguin is, you have to make an effort. Well, we do. We have to make an effort to get there. But I can go get stuff for the cost of a donation. It's crazy. From Country Cottage Needleworks, I started my May mini village. And that's it. I started it. I have to see what way this goes. I think it goes this way. I think that's the hair on the boy and the girl. Well, one of them has a face, but I think it goes this way. So there you go. Big start. Big things going on. This is in a bag like this. This is from Glendon Place. Thanksgiving. I love those turkeys. They're goofy looking. I hope I'm not flinging stuff. And I'm working on the thanks. Right now it kind of looks like it says ANF. And I am using the called for, oh, that's something else. Indian Summer by Dinky Dyes is what this is. I'm using the called for on the thanks. I probably will not for the turkey because there isn't really that much. I might get it for this. But I got time. I've got time. Let's see how that all goes. I did work on Hello Lovely. This one is a stamped one, and I have discovered I do not love stamped cross stitch. I'm stressing myself out about it and how it looks and yada yada yada. So here we are. This is on my list of 20 also. So I'm trying to as I go along, like I think this time I picked this color and I kind of tried to get it in everywhere it goes. I am trying to do some of the back stitching as I go. It does make me feel better, like these little flowers back stitched look so much better than before. But anyway, this one's on my list of 20. I don't know if I said that or not, but it's one that I need to just sit down and get it done. It doesn't really have all that much more to go. It's been so long. Some of these I'm like, did I really work on it? I think I did. This one is Fox and Rabbit, their Mystery Sal from 2020. Apparently it was named Friends and Family. I am still in April 2020. I got bogged down in March. Sorry, I'm trying to move my needle minder. I got bogged down in March because I had made some mistakes and I tried to fix it and then didn't, and I thought I did, but it wasn't, and it just got worse. And so I just put it away for a while. And then I just totally ripped out March's piece and started over. And so there's like right here. I mean, there's like this flower, this look like this, and then there's stuff here. And I can get April finished. But the rest of them are all pretty big too. So this on my list of 20. This is what I mean when I say the big ones are starting to accumulate. But it's okay. There's no race. Out of Sample the Seasons, looks like this. I am working on this one, and this one might be a Mania. I don't really remember, or if it just came up in my working on things I'd already started. Working on my whips, but here we are. You can tell the fabric's still a little bit stiff because it's been a minute since I worked on. I think it is on Mania, a Mania piece, because I think I worked on it while we were at the cabin. It is in a bag that is from a table runner. I cut it in half. Here's the other one. Here, I'll go ahead and show you this one. This one is from the keepsake calendar from, who does that? Cross Stitch, keepsake cross stitch calendar. Anyway, it's this paisley pumpkin. Shelly and I are doing Sal with this, and I forgot what our adjective is for the stitching because she's doing a different piece. Our stitching on it has been something. I don't think that's what we're using to describe it, but I think I worked on this one while we were at the cabin also. So I believe I finished this one and came and started over here. And I believe that this time I worked on it, I got the, let's see, that's this one right here. This is fully stitched, and I'm not doing that like by popular vote, not to fill in here, because I want the fabric to show up. It's darker than what it shows up on camera and everything. But I think this time I did finish getting the pumpkin back stitched. There's still some stuff that goes over here, but I could be making all of that up. This one from Fancy That. Sorry, I have a sticky note in here because a lot of the flosses are blended. So there's a sticky note in there with the colors and whatever floss was left on my needle. But it says the name of the pattern is Boo. I call it Fancy That Ghost. This I am stitching on a piece of 14 count Zweigart turbulence. And here is where we are. This will say boo on the ghost, but the other part of it is all backstitched. I tried to go ahead and put in stuff so that as I stitch the white, I don't have to worry about counting. I already put in the stitches that go there. And just kind of like on the arm, I still had some floss on my needle from doing the eyes and mouth, so I took it out on the arm, but it's looking pretty cute. It's a lot of white, or whatever color it is. There's a lot of it. I know that. I worked on cross stitch Christmas. Jacob's stocking is in here. It's this one, but I am doing it in different colors. And here is where we are. I do believe this also is Mania piece. And I know I was over here working on this one over here. But the dark blue is a silk from Silks for You. And the lighter color is Greek Goddess from Night Stalker Calling. So it's pretty cool. So I think it's looking pretty good. There are lots of beads that go on here. I have not made up my mind if I'm going to put them on here, but I do have some that will work. We'll see. It's in a bag that I made from, it's another one, Table Runner. Cut, folded up, stitched. Easy peasy. Did y'all watch, because I'm kind of an exciting person. I don't know if y'all know that about me. The University of Rhode Island corpse flower blooming, because I did. I did have that live on my computer at the office. If you weren't watching, you ain't living, man. I'm just saying. All right, we're down to just 3 more. Okay. Finally, I have not worked on this one. This one's also on my list of 20. And I think I probably worked on it for Mania. I spin wheels for, I spin my wheels on a lot, but I spend the decision wheels for what I'm going to stitch on, and this one just hasn't come up. I'm trying to decide, because this also is on my list of 20, what to do to try to, I like the wheel, and I don't want to force myself, like spinning the wheel doesn't, I don't feel like I'm being forced. And sometimes I don't stitch on what it says for me to stitch on because I have something else that's getting close. But it gives me an idea, and it kind of, you know, it helps me from not having to make a decision. But like this, that hasn't come up hardly at all this year, you know, once or twice, that's not going to get this finished. So I'm trying to figure out how to deal with some of that. But anyway, here we are. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the flowers and everything that has been backstitched so far. The backstitching just makes it. And I'm over on, it's actually, I think, a little less than half the pattern over here. But this is where the page break is, obviously. And again, I had some mistakes and I had to pull out. But then I discovered, and this is the crazy thing, all of this, look, okay, do you see all of this that I didn't discover it a lot of this is the same color in here. Some of it is half stitch and some of it is full stitch. Because I was going through and doing all the full stitches, and then I might move on to something else. I don't know what I was thinking when I was going through and using the same color to do half stitches, and it took this long for it to click to me that I was using the same color. Oh well, now I know. Now I know. So I went through, and so this time for those, I did the stitches individually because it might be 3 half stitches, 1 full stitch, you know, or 5 full stitches, full crosses. So anyway, okay, I'm not always quick on the uptake. I get it. And out of the December 1992 issue of Cross Country Stitching, looks like this. I'm working on this one. And I'm way up here, but actually I start over here, so I'm way over here. But I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So here's where I'm at. I had fun. I worked on this stuff down here. I think I did a little bit. I worked on this while we were at the cabin. So it is a mania piece. But like getting this stuff backstitched, I'm always amazed at what a difference backstitching can make. And then this one I also worked on the cabin, I remember, and I'm doing this, the Santa, patchwork Santa. So it's mania also, and here is where we are. This one I get intimidated by some of these patterns, right? Like, you know, this and this, because on the pattern, it just looks like a jumbled mess to me until I get going on it, and then it kind of, I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. This time I got the gingerbread man outlined, did this, and I think I brought this up too. So it's not on my list of 20 though. I think that's all. I did buy a new pattern because I wouldn't want to run out, but actually I saw it on eBay. I just liked it, and then, you know, she made me an offer I can refuse, but isn't that pretty? I'm trying to, yeah, see, it's stitched on black, and this is not stitched. So you're stitching all of this on the black, and then the images are in the relief work. So that's kind of cool. So I'll be getting started on that, not anytime soon. When I buy patterns, they go to the back of my tub of things I want to stitch. So I was looking ahead on my calendar. I have a little note to myself right here, as you can see, because I was watching a Flosstube and somebody showed one that they had stitched, or I think finished, and I don't remember who it was, but I was like, oh, I need that. But I was looking ahead, and July has a whole bunch of new starts for me. August, only a couple, and then I think September was ridiculous with the number of new starts. But that's on my wheel to spin. So when it tells me a new start, I get the next one in line, and I put them in there as I get them. That's not necessarily true, but mostly like that. I put it to the back when I get it. a new one and I pull from the front, because otherwise some of them would just absolutely be forgotten about. So anyway, I think that's it. I gotta go empty the dishwasher, and it's probably getting close to time to cook dinner. Yeah. By the time I get the dishwasher emptied, it'll be time to cook dinner. But anyway, this was better than, well, I would have liked the nap. This is more productive than taking the nap. So thank you for the likes, the comments, subscribing if you haven't yet. Why not? Be sure and do that. Now I'm going to clean up this mess that I've made and pull my projects for the next week, and I'm going to try to be back next week. Goodness knows, I hope I don't get sick again. I'm tired of it. And hopefully I can get a lot done and have something to show you. Fingers crossed. Oh, and where is... No. Oh no. I haven't heard for this giveaway. And because I haven't been back, I wanted to give another chance that I can see. I just stacked a bunch of this on top of it. I still have the little papers, but I don't see who won. Okay, I don't see who it was, so I'm going to go back to the other video and try to contact her. But if I don't hear from her next video, like I said, I still have the pieces of paper sitting here. I'll draw again from what I have to give these away. So anyway, I think that's all I have for now. I'm just rambling, probably because I'm tired. So I'm gonna go. I will see y'all next time, and thanks for everything, y'all.